Thanks, Em. Yeah, Danny, if we start with you, as Em said, it's the first time the club's gone down the Next Star route, and it's been talked about a lot as to whether it would happen in the past. Why did you feel? Talk about the benefits of the Next Star program and what that will bring this roster.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've been able to get Alex to sign into the Next Star program, and specifically, obviously, with us to come to Perth. Yeah, so it's a program, obviously, that's in conjunction with the NBL. It's a fantastic initiative that was put in about 5 or 6 years ago by Jeremy, and now being run by Liam Santa Maria at the league. And it's an opportunity for clubs to get an elite young talent and kind of help them develop on their pathway to the NBA. It gives you an extra roster spot, so it's an additional roster spot as opposed to just having the 11. You have a 12th spot that they come into, and it gives the player a high level of competition to come in and develop their game as they work on their journey towards the NBA draft. And then for us, it gives us an elite young talent that's going to step onto court from day one and provide us with an immediate impact on both ends of the court. So it's really a win-win for everyone.
So obviously he's recruited by the league and then becomes your player. How did you end up being the one who wins the battle as they did in the negotiations to get him to you guys?
That's probably a great question for Alex, and he can kind of tell you how he felt about Perth, and maybe there were other clubs that courted him as well. But I think our combination of the franchise that Perth is, the winning tradition, the professionalism that we have here as a club, combined with I think myself having an NBA background, John coming from a player development centric background from college, is kind of all things that stood out to Alex and his family and his agency when they were making a big decision. This is something that's on the path of a young man that's going to be selected in the first round and potentially the lottery of the NBA draft next year. So it was a big decision for Alex to make and put his trust of his development and the next year of his development with us. And we're extremely, extremely excited that he's chosen Perth, and we can't wait for him to get down here.
He's obviously bloody enormous, and he's athletic as all get out as well. What's he been? What's he going to be as a player on court? What are we going to see from him?
Yeah, I mean, Alex is 7'1" with a 7'4" wingspan, so you're going to see a big athlete that plays both ends of the court. I think the thing that stands out for us and kind of what's really intriguing about Alex is his versatility at his size. Like, he plays both on the perimeter. Inside, he's a lob threat offensively. He can step out and hit 3-point shots, and then defensively, he's a guy that can switch. So if teams want to put him out in pick and roll, he's a guy that can switch and cover pick and roll coverages. Then he's a guy that can protect the rim and rebound and kind of and really be a paint presence for us, which is something we've lacked last season. So for us to be able to get a person the caliber of Alex, a talent the caliber, and then for him to be able to fill a lot of these deficiencies that we recognize we had last year is kind of a huge coup for the club.
Alex, Danny said, well, to ask you the question I asked him at the start, why did you choose Perth when you had the option of all of the clubs? What made them the most alluring prospect for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, choosing Perth Wildcats was like a no-brainer. When I talked with Danny, when I talked with John Riley, like, I just really liked the way they presented the club to me, their way of seeing things. They have a plan for me, and I can see myself playing for the Perth Wildcats and being impactful on the court.
And why the NBL in general? Like, you've gone down a different path to what a lot of people have already. So why now come here?
I just, like, always I'm seeking for like a new challenge, like every step of my career, even though it's been, I mean, I'm still starting my career right now, but like, I always try to like take on a new challenge. And I just felt like me going to Australia and playing for the Perth Wildcats was the next step on my improvement.
You want to try the next one, Em?
I'm happy to go if that's all right, guys. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine, Ash. Yep.
Great. Hey, Danny, just in terms of the criteria of signing a Next Star, is there limited minutes or are there minutes that they have to play on court? What does that kind of look like for signing one of them?
No, there's no restrictions or limitations or anything like that. It's really, it gives you as I mentioned, as an NBL club, you have 11 roster spots and 4 development player positions, and this gives you a 12th that sits outside of that. And it just gives us an opportunity, one, to be able to get access to a player the talent of Alex. Without this program, NBL clubs wouldn't have that. And so it's an incredible, I think, partnership between what the league's done, and you've seen the players that have come through this pathway already that have gone on to NBA and really NBA stardom. And for us to be able to finally land one in my 3rd season here, but as we kind of retool the club and kind of rebuild the roster, for us to be able to bring Alex into the club and for him to come into our rotation as a player and as a young prospect, we think it was a win-win for everyone.
I've just got one more for you, Danny, and then I've got a couple for Alex. But we've got a few Wildcats fans just wondering about Jesse Wagstaff. Is that in the midst, and how close will a deal be getting done there, or have we got an update on that contract?
Yeah, honestly, no update there. I mean, as we continue to fill out the roster, I mean, obviously Jesse's a free agent right now, and then there's definitely talks happening behind closed doors with him, but no updates for now.
Alex, for you as well, I mean, with the prospect of spending a year in the NBL and long-term, hopefully maybe playing in the NBA, what do you want to get out of this season with the Wildcats?
I just hope to be a great season. I want to win. I'm not just here just to get to the league next year, even though it's my main goal. I want to win too. That's why I chose the NBL. I've always been a competitor my whole life, so I want to win games, make the playoffs, and go the farthest we can.
Obviously, you've got a pretty good mentor in your brother who's already spent some time in the NBA. What was his advice to you as far as your progression?
Yeah, I mean, same as I said earlier, like it was just a new challenge for me, and he really thinks that's a good way to improve. Just tells me to keep a good mindset and just be confident in myself and in my abilities.
Have you had much of a chance to watch a few of the Wildcats games, and is there a few exciting prospects of people that you might like to play alongside?
I mean, yeah, I watched a few games and definitely playing alongside Bryce Cutton and Keanu Pinder too. I know he wasn't playing for the Wildcats last year, but I feel like we can complement each other pretty well.
You mentioned Danny just before, say how they needed someone sort of strong in the paint just to get those rebounds. Do you see that as maybe one of the things that you can bring to this team? Have you spoken to the coach about that?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I feel like me being 7'1" and being athletic will definitely help the team as far as rebounding, rim protection. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely something I bring to the table.
Last one for me. Off the court, have you been to Australia before, and what are your expectations of coming to Perth?
I mean, nah, I never been to Australia, and I just expect to see a whole bunch of kangaroos as soon as I land.
Awesome, thanks.
Was there any further questions?
I'll jump back in if no one else is there. It's mentioned your family, Alex. How many of you are coming over? Were the parents coming?
Yeah, my parents are coming with me.
And the quote, Danny, said, "We eagerly await their arrival," and it mentioned parents and brother. You haven't got a big coup coming on for the brother in any way, have you?
No. Alex and his parents are coming down. Obviously, Olivia's already in the NBA. He's under contract with Oklahoma City, and I imagine that's where he'll be next season, which is, as Alex mentioned, an amazing brother for him to look up to and kind of the career he's taken already. So as much as we would love Olivia Sarr to be on the roster, I don't think that's going to be the case next year.
How much of a game changer is today for you? From putting a roster together and getting this bloke, what is it? How much of a game changer is it for your entire season?
It's huge. No, this is huge. And from day one, as we started planning for this offseason and kind of how we wanted to build next year's roster, like for us to be able to, one, get the conversation with Alex, and then one, to be able to agree to terms with him and the NBL, and for now, for this to be official and announced, like I think people can really see how our roster's coming together. I think we've really added depth, athleticism, length, rim protection, rebounding, all the things we wanted to add, we're starting to add to our roster. And it's just another way that we're building both the organization on the court as well as off it.